Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talking About Birds, the only podcast that, like the Cardinals, need a full rebuild. My name is Nate Heininger, and I am joined by my co-host, Ben Samorco.
Hey, Nate H.
If you have an idea for the opening bit, text or leave us a voicemail at 848-48-BIRDS. Or you can be like friend of the show, frequent contributor, and last week's guest, C70, who submitted that via the Bird Scored. Thank you, Daniel. I think last week was maybe a pilot for the rebuild. It was nice that the show was half good. So thank you again, Daniel, for coming in and replacing me while I was out. I listened to the episode. I always do. It's half of it's good. It's nice to hear half of the voice.
Wow.
I will say though, Hambone, if anyone who didn't listen, if this is somehow your first episode, Daniel had a grueling game that he brought to the show last week. And I love that he gets invited on the show sometimes last minute, and then he comes in with material, which is always nice. And I will say though, I would have gotten 0% of those. There's no fucking way I get any of that.
Well, I mean, that's, to be clear, that is what I got. I also got 0%.
Well, but to give you credit, the fact that you just pulled Nate Johnson out of your ass and the answer was Ben Johnson is pretty funny, pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that was genuinely amazing. Yeah. That made the whole episode worth it.
It really did. So I think he gave you like a half a point or something like that for it. I would have guessed Nate Heininger a lot more. You chose the route to guess Ben Samorco more. Makes sense. But overall,
I think I guessed Nate Shearholtz 2 or 3 times.
You did.
That's kind of like it's a Nate with a horrible last name, so it's it's similar but different.
Well, there is a group Nate Slack channel, that we're all in. All Nates are in. So as he was saying, I'm like, oh right, of course, Nate McLeod, who I did remember. Nate McLeod. Once it was said, I remember Nate McLeod.
Right.
And so I DM'd him and we talked for a little while because again, all Nates are friends.
I was at a Rockies game. I don't know. This was probably 3 months ago or something at this point. And maybe I didn't bring this up on the pod, but there was like I think it was a meeting of the Ryans. There was like a whole section of guys.
I think we talked about this,
girls.
Or maybe it was in the Bird Scored or something.
Just a bunch of Ryans there. I don't know how I feel about this. The collecting of Nates and Ryans and even Bens. I'm not sure it's good.
Yeah, Ryans less into Bens. I never met a good one, so that's not going to go well. Nate's though.
Really?
Of course, that's an S tier name. We're having a good time out here.
Shut up. So stupid.
Hambone, you mentioned it. I'm back from a work trip. Very exciting, I know. I don't want to talk about any of that, but I did have a unique experience of this work trip having me end up at the Oakland Coliseum. Was I filming the next season of Ted Lasso? I don't know. Maybe. Subscribe to Apple TV or whatever, and you'll find out. Use our promo code. But
are you Ted or are you the Lasso or what's going on? I
get Lasso. They finally are leaning into the name.
I've never seen the show, but that sounds good. We're talking about it.
Yeah. I think that what people want to hear is our takes on like a 6-year-old TV show at this time. So I'm going to give them. The first season is incredible. And then it
Are they not doing this? Are they still doing it?
I don't know. I watched the first season, which was truly amazing. I really loved it. Second season, it suffers from a lot of the problems that any second season of a show does. It kind of becomes a derivative, it's circling back on itself, kind of doing the same thing over and over. But I loved it, and then I haven't kept up with it since. But the first season's awesome.
Yeah.
And it feels great to be lassoed in the next season by Ted. They're like, we gotta get the name in there.
You simply must.
But the outside of that, which is true and cool, I like hosted a work meeting, so basically like along the third base line of the Oakland Coliseum. Now the grass had been.
Did it smell like human feces?
Well, no, but it was funny. It had rained that morning, early in the morning, and I was there in the late afternoon, and the ground was still wet. So it definitely is not draining very well still. I was like kind of surprised, but also not at all, because that's part of one of the things they say about that place is that it.
I'm sure your company got that rental for pennies on the dollar.
Well,
it had to be screaming deal.
Yeah. It was really like interesting from a baseball fan standpoint to just kind of be walking around on the field. You know, I went down in
walking on sunshine.
Yeah, I was walking on sunshine. I went around. I went down like in the dugouts. I tried to get into the clubhouse, but I couldn't get in. But we had like
you couldn't get in, you couldn't figure it out, or they were locked.
It was like a complicated riddle or something. I don't know. I couldn't.
That makes sense. You'd be tripped up by something like that.
I was too focused on hitting ding dong dingers with my bing bong bat. Hitting taters out the stadium, you know, that sort of thing.
Yep. Just hit a 3-run ho-ho.
Yep. They actually still had a lot of there was like a hall of fame that they had set up that had like a plaque of Mark McGwire still. So the place was pretty stripped of all Oakland stuff, but that was still there, and there were still a few things around.
Should have plucked something off the wall, a little keepsake.
Oh, I should have just stole from them. You're right. But it was also like, and this is just me being like too emotional about baseball, but it was a little somber. You know, I felt like a little sad being out on the fields. Like, I shouldn't be here. This shouldn't be how this is going. You know.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be a corporate event workspace now. you know.
No, and I mean, it'll soon probably very likely be a pile of rubble.
Yeah.
And there was just an article in The Athletic about how poorly things in Sacramento have gone, and they're breaking ground in Vegas. So it's, you know, it's just, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's dumb that we are here.
Yes.
It's dumb that you were there. You're dumb.
Ultimately, it boils down to I'm dumb. That was my takeaway too. But yeah, so it was weird, you know, but it was also, I was like glad that of all the places to have like a corporate event, it was cool to be doing it there and to have that experience. But I really was like, man, this kind of sucks. Like, I wish, like, I don't, I was like thinking about Ricky Henderson and shit, you know, like it sucks that this is the ending for it. Now, I know stadiums have like events like this in between while the regular season is going on anyway. So it's not like, but it was just so dead in there, you know, and like, all of the character is stripped out. All that's left were some like ancient Miller Lite signs and things like that, and a little bit of Oakland legacy, which I guess they probably did just leave behind because they're not there anymore. Yeah. So I probably could have just taken any of it.
That's what I'm saying. You should have taken. And I'll tell you what, Nate, I'm actually kind of a fan of a Miller Lite. So if you would have stolen something related to that, that would have been great for me. It's my airplane beer.
I'm not a.
You know what I say, Nate?
What? It's Miller time.
Wheels up. It's Miller time.
Yeah. Wow. And make sure you enter our promo code at the bar. I'm not a like a big airplane drinker.
Dude, wheels up. I'm cracking that beer.
Hell yeah, brother. You know it. You've convinced me. I'm changing my habits. Although I think I told this story on the pod, like when this happened over a year ago, but I had the opportunity to fly like business class on Southwest, which is nothing. But you get a free drink voucher. So like, okay, sure. I'll get like,
that's the only time you've ever had a drink on a flight.
It might be. Yeah. It just,
we are different people. This is,
I don't know. It just never sounds.
Nate, you know me though.
Yeah.
Wheels up.
Wheels up. I know you, baby. Wheels up. I'm too focused on my Silk Song, you see, which I put some primo time into Silk Song over this last week. Game of the year.
What is that again?
Game of the year, my boy.
Some type of anime.
Oh, Oh, you sweet child. No, it's only one of the most grueling Metroidvanias and a pinnacle of its genre. Thank you very much.
Oh my God.
Listen to the
sorry.
short game if you're interested in this talk. But I was like, all right, free drinks, I'll do it. And I got like a whiskey or something. And they just bring out literally an airplane bottle of Jack Daniels. And I didn't realize that they'd opened it for me, and I spilled it all over me. So, and this was in the first like 30 minutes of the flight. So I just spent like a 5-hour flight just smelling heavy of Jack Daniels. Like, this is cool. I'm a cool business guy.
Another reason to go with the Miller Lite in that situation.
Yeah,
You're not going to spill that on me.
No, I covet that. I treat that like, oh, thank for handing me the sweet little baby boy.
That's right. Wheels up, baby.
Look what daddy did. Yeah, wheels up. I've always wondered why you have that wheels up tattoo across your chest.
Now you know. Miller Lite paid for it.
Yeah. But I'm back, Hambone, again. Thanks, Daniel, for covering. And here we are.
Wow.
My guy, 4 games left, including the game that's happening right now?
Yeah, a game is about to happen. We're recording in the evening.
Oh, yeah, this is Tab After Dark, if you can't tell.
And then we have 3 games with the Cubbies, and then we're done.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, here we go. Is it Wheels Up on the Pod? Did you like that?
Wow, that was on mic. That was good. What do you got? Is that a Miller Lite?
No, it's now this
Citywide is kind of a Miller Lite. It's like a nicer Miller Lite.
I feel like I have a very opposite feeling of that, but
It's starting to sound like you've never had a Miller Lite.
that is Patty Heininger's favorite drink. I have drank a lot of Miller Lite hanging out with my mother, so how dare you? How dare you? We buy like every time we have a party at our house, we buy like a 6-pack of Miller Lite so she'll have something when she comes over, and then she drinks one, and then I just have 5 Miller Lite at my house. So
it's a good way to live right there.
hell yeah, brother, wheels up. So Hambone, the Cardinals, as of right now, Wednesday, September 24th.
By the way, I'm doing fine, Nate. My week was fine. Everything was good.
I assumed. I listened to the pod.
Continue.
Well, you actually did have a big event that I want to talk about, but we're pretty far into the show at this point.
Let's start the show for crying out loud.
I'm glad you're good. I assumed. I mean, you look like shit, but everything else seems fine.
I just got a haircut. I think
Yeah, it's fine.
I think it's working.
Yeah, that's nice. You got a barber? You got like a local spot you go to?
I do.
That's cool.
She just moved to a new location.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, it's good.
It's closer to my house.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is this what you wanted to talk about?
I'm asking you questions about you. I thought this is what you wanted.
I'm doing fine.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
Good. The Cardinals are not technically eliminated, right?
They're fighting for their lives.
This is
they have 2 games to lose. If they lose 2 games, it's over.
Yeah.
That's their anti-magic number. What do you call that? Their death number?
Anti-magic number. It's kind of cool. What's anti-magic?
Anti-magic. I don't. Just like everybody else, I guess, is kind of doing their thing.
So, this is more a indication or just a reflection of like the playoff system and whatnot. But frankly, for how the team has felt for more than 2 months now, it's crazy to me that we actually are technically still in playoff competition going into the last weekend of the Major League season. Like, it doesn't feel good. I am not like, woo, we're in it, but like, it's pretty remarkable that they've hung on just a little bit enough, and everyone else has done just bad enough, which is really the story, that the Cardinals are going to be playing meaningful baseball, quote unquote, the last weekend of the season in 2025.
Yeah, we don't deserve it. I would say that this is a flaw of the current playoff format and just MLB at large. But the fact of the matter, the Cardinals haven't been playing bad recently. They've been winning some of these games, and I don't know. It is what it is. At least we have. I watched every out of last night's game, Tuesday night's game. So, and it was a good game.
Yeah, great.
It's funny how we'll talk more about the offense later in the show, but it's funny how just a competitive offense makes it so much easier to watch the games.
Well,
Like, even if the pitching isn't there, it just really goes a long way.
yeah, you mentioned it on the show last week, but like, we had a really fun time, and we'll do like a whole eulogy for the 2025 season throughout the offseason and whatnot. But a thing that like sticks with me is that we had a really fun April and May as Cardinal fans this year. We were saying the team is good like a lot. That was like our cry. The team, because we like really evocative language on this show. The team is good was a rallying cry, and it was.
The show's good.
It was for a little moment there.
I remember. I was there.
The team is good. The show is good. That's what we were saying in May, and that was almost exclusively because the offense was working and covering up some better than expected, but overall mediocre starting pitching. And so, I mean, this team, it's still fundamentally on that side the exact same team today as it was in May, especially now with Ivan totally back and doing what he's doing. I mean, I know Contreras is out and Winn is out, but still, like a lot of the bats that were leading the offense back in May are doing it again right now, which is fun. It just makes it more fun. Too bad it's September 24th and they're 3.5 back in 2 games under 500.
Yeah, little too late, just not enough and all that. But we have something to watch. Legitimately have something to watch these last 4 games.
Yeah.
3 games by the time this episode is out.
Yeah. So I guess let's get into some of the news. Arenado is back, which, we've what a roller coaster we've had of emotions with Nolan Arenado over the last 2 years. But I gotta say, like, it's just fun. I like watching Nolan Arenado play baseball. He's had a couple big hits. I'm glad that he's back to end the season, even if it doesn't really mean anything. And maybe he's playing better for real. I don't know, but like, I'm just glad that he's back. Like the head part of me is like, well, is this optimal? But like the heart side of me, the baseball fan, the dumb baseball fan side of me is like, it's good to end the season with Arenado playing.
Cardinal started winning.
Yeah.
Once he showed up, I don't know if it is his stewardship, his calm.
I don't know. They were losing when he was
base.
Here.
No, we don't remember that. What are you talking about?
You're right.
We got a little hot heater going on right now, and it's hard to credit. You're talking about the offense, so on and so forth. But I mean, who's the leader of this team? It's Nolan Arenado, Nate.
Sure. Okay.
And I think you'd be a fool to say anything else.
So Nolan, are you penciling him in, Nolan Arenado, starting third baseman 2026?
Well, that's really what we need to talk about. So the Cardinals, they had him in the final home game of the season. Ali Marmol put Nolan Arenado at third base. Before a pitch was thrown, they pulled him out, replaced him, so he had his big moment in front of the crowd. He was able to wave to the fans and everything like that. And, I mean, if I've ever seen a goodbye to a player with a team, that is just how it's done. Now, is Chaim Bloom going to be capable of something that Mozeliak was not? As we've said many times on this show, John Mozeliak made it his first, second, and third priority to move Nolan Arenado before the season started. He failed to do so. So for them to act this way, it seems like that's going to happen. Maybe conversations have happened with Nolan Arenado about him being more open to moving to a myriad of other teams. We talked about this last week or the week prior. Like, look, there's some surprise. The Marlins are surprising people. The Tigers are way better than a lot of people. Maybe he's just thinking, if I go to another team that is mildly competitive, I have a better shot than being with the Cardinals. I think there's also the shot that he gets DFA'd, and obviously somebody will pick him up.
Yeah.
The Cardinals will be on the hook. But I wonder, like, if they're feeling
Man.
that sure that they're going to move. And now I don't think he would be deserving of being DFA.
Right.
I want to be clear. I don't think that's the right move. But one of those things have to be true. Either Arenado has changed his tune of what he's going to block. The conversations have been had. They're going to DFA him or what? But it seemed pretty definite from my point of view, the way that they ended his last home game.
I think that's...
Or I guess began his last home
I think
game.
that's likely accurate. It would not surprising at all to know that that is absolutely their intention this offseason to one way or another be done with him. But I do think that maybe they would have done that either way, just like he is like the face of the team. He had a rough last 2 months. Let's the final home game. The final home game is always to some degree a bit of fan service, like let's make sure everyone gets their applause. He has been a cornerstone of this team for years now. So let's make sure he gets his applause on the last home game of the season. But I think you're probably right. And honestly, while I think it is the least likely outcome, I would kind of respect a DFA, because to me, that would show the front office is actually willing to just make a decision and move forward.
Yep.
I'm certain they could do something where they trade him, even if they end up paying 25 of his 35 or whatever, or 30 of his 30, like just a straight DFA. There's almost no way that becomes the option. If you go to the Marlins or to the Tigers or even the Yankees or whoever and say, we'll pay 2/3 of this contract. Look, he hit a dinger in his last week. I'm sure someone would take him. Now, will he go? I guess we'll see. But I would imagine I'll be very surprised if he, Sonny Gray, and maybe even Wilson Contreras don't have a different feeling about their no trade clauses this offseason. But that's all the open question. And you and I are going to talk about this a lot over the next 3 months.
So I agree with you. And I don't think last year is necessarily exactly it does not say exactly what's going, 2025 doesn't mean the same thing is going to happen in 2026. Yeah. But Nate, can you guess out of all 30 teams what place the Cardinals are in F-WAR at third base?
Okay, so I kind of know where Arenado is at, and I have a hard time thinking that Gorman was very positive there in the last 2 months. So I'm guessing they're going to be right around 1 or below, which probably puts them at 26th.
Very good guess. They're 24th.
Oh man, I was really close.
Very close. They've accrued 0.9 F-WAR at that position as a team. The WRC collective WRC plus is 88. So that means that there are 6 teams in baseball that had worse production at third base. Than the St. Louis Cardinals.
I don't know. Maybe
Nolan Arenado.
Maybe I get your point being that even a team that, like, if you're like, here, take him, and you only pay $5 million, there might be teams that are like, no, like that's not good. We will not pay anything for him.
I look at the Yankees. The Yankees have been complaining about their third base options all year, and they're in 19th place. That's not a huge jump, but it is. I'm sure they're not paying their collective third baseman $30 million.
Yeah, well, it is one of the defining factors of why this season was a failure, is that Nolan Arenado was bad.
Yeah, and so yeah, I think there's probably a match out there. I think the Phillies make a lot of sense. They had a terrible year from Alec Boehm.
Yeah.
They are old, grizzled veterans. A rock star third baseman defensively would help their team. I think that they would be a better team, and obviously they're pushing. Outside of that, the other teams we're looking at are the A's, the White Sox, the Nationals, the Angels. Those are all teams. Actually, I could see the Angels doing it, but I think Arenado blocks that for sure.
Yeah, that we'd all be like, well, yeah, of course. Would have some self-respect, Nolan, and definitely deny those.
The Angels got a combined negative 0.3 F-WAR at third base this season.
It was Yoan Moncada
So I was reading, I think Yohan Moncada he may have been the worst defender in all of baseball this year. It was either him or Mickey Moniak. I was just reading about this, but Yohan Moncada
Starting
was
center
one
fielder
of
for the Colorado Rockies.
He's a outfielder. He plays all over the place. It's so annoying. He was the best hitter for the team this year, and then he
had a great year.
I was reading he was rated the worst outfielder in all of baseball. It's like the Rockies
can't get it.
Even when something goes right, it goes.
I mean,
wrong.
It truly is a rare, what a success story for the Rockies, though, to get that sort of production from that guy. But I didn't know he was so bad or defensively. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So with his great offensive season, he accrued 0.6 F1.
So he was worse than Arenado.
He was so bad.
Yeah, if you're listening and don't know, he had 25 home runs, 10 stolen bases, a reasonable batting average. So
yeah, he was 24 homers, 9 stolen bases, 270, a 111 WRC plus.
Yeah.
And he played essentially all season, which was another big deal for Mickey Moniak.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of really exciting Mickey Moniak home runs in real life. It was a good time.
And what a baseball name, Mickey Moniak.
Oh God, yeah. I was at the game the other night, the final home game, and some jerks sitting behind me were like, "Oh, hey, cartoon character." Some like really lame burns.
If you were a big fan of him, you could call yourself a Moniak maniac.
That's good.
Yeah.
I should introduce you to a couple of jerks that were sitting behind me the other night.
Please. That sounds great. I'll have ice cream spaghetti with them or whatever.
They don't do that anymore. They only do dessert nachos. They swapped out the ice cream spaghetti.
That's bullshit. Colorado's gone down so downhill. We used to make things in this country, Hambo.
Yeah, that's true. I have no retort.
All right, let's move on from Arenado. But again, emotionally, if this is the last we're seeing of him, that does make me sad. And I hope he hits 11 dingers this weekend and just has a good time.
Crushing the Cubs this weekend because Arenado's on fire would be the most fun thing ever.
Yep,
for this shitty season.
Well, another thing that we've talked about it for a while now, but Masyn Winn is having his surgery, so good luck to him. Hope everything is seemingly like they're saying getting it done. It should be a normal off season, should be fine. So not much more to say than what we've already said, but I'm glad it's getting done, and I hope he has a good, clean recovery.
Yeah, he's going under the knife the day this show comes out, and everyone is saying he's going to have a normal off season, and he'll be the starting shortstop in spring training. There's going to be no issue. I'll just say while we're talking about Masyn Winn, I think he deserves a Gold Glove. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll be talking about that in about a month. And if there was ever a time to extend your shortstop, this really seems like the time. Maybe he's thinking about his mortality, Nate. Maybe he's thinking about, arthroscopic knee surgery. Maybe I should lock in the bag. And Chaim Bloom, you're listening to us right now. I know
we know he listens.
Make it happen.
Yeah. Do it,
Captain.
Make it happen.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. And another young, I think, cornerstone of the team.
I mean, this month, Nate, if we're not already an Ivan Herrera believer, well, look at what he's doing in September. He's one of the best hitters in baseball. But we're not, I guess we'll talk about that later. Right now, I guess we should talk about the fact that we were made aware that he is going to get some off-season surgery. Mm-hmm. Obviously, his elbow is not in bad enough shape to stop him from hitting a dinger every other night in September. But there are loose bodies. Nate, there are loose bodies floating around.
Gotta get those out of there. Where do these loose bodies come from?
Bodies. I don't know, man.
Have you seen Bodies?
I have.
I liked it.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
We love Pete Davidson and his acting, don't we?
Yeah, he's such a good actor.
He's a good actor.
The way he just loses himself in a character that isn't just Pete Davidson, just being Pete Davidson on set.
Yeah. He's good.
It's remarkable.
So anyways, he's got to get these loose bodies out of his throwing elbow. That'll happen once the season is over. Herrera has spoken with his manager and spoken with Chaim Bloom to work out a plan for an off-season program designed to get him back behind the plate. And they're saying, whether they're just trying to make Ivan happy or if this is real or whatever, they're saying that the plan is to have him be a primary catcher next year.
I saw that, and I'm torn in two ways, Hambone. I'm quite ambivalent. On the one hand, we've been saying for a while now, he needs a position. DH only is bad. And you said it last week, he's not that bad of a catcher. So why did we already write him off from that? On the other hand, we got so many catchers that are coming up that are like high-end defensive prospect, and can hit. And, I know you guys talked about it last week, but like at some point we got to make space for these guys. And Herrera just lost essentially a year of development as a major league catcher. And he certainly seems to hit at a rate that you don't really want him to be a catcher long-term anyway. You want him off his legs like that, and you want him, hitting. And obviously, the role of the catcher is going away anyway, as you have been, talking about. So, let's just get him out of back there and just let him hit in left field or whatever it is.
Get him out of back there.
Get him out of back there.
Yeah, I share some of those feelings. I will say, watching him hit every day, and obviously his current run of extreme success it's hard to block that out of my mind. Mm-hmm. But he kind of has first baseman written all over him to me. Yeah. I think the converting him to a first baseman would be relatively easy. He keeps his legs fresh. He doesn't seem to have the speed to make outfield really work or in a way that we want it to work, because I think we'd all prefer an outfielder that's a little more athletic.
Yeah.
I think that he probably has the arm strength and the instincts to make it work, but we have a lot of Nathan Churches and Lars Nootbaar and other options. Mm-hmm. And, what do you do with an outfield that is Burley and Walker, and there's a logjam there too, Yeah. So I think, if I got to wave my magic wand, it would be to move Wilson Contreras and have Ivan Herrera be the primary first baseman. Yeah. I think it makes sense. I think the bat is good enough that, he could, it would be fine. A lot of times first base is where, guys are forced into, but his bat would carry that without issue. And
it seems that way. You have to hit really well to be a positive value at first base, but slightly less than you have to hit to be positive out of DH. He seems like he probably can hit from anywhere. I mean, I try not to be biased here, but we're approaching a pretty high amount of plate appearances for this season, and he's kind of been crushing it 100% of the time. There's been a little bit of dips here and there, but
yeah,
I'm pretty convinced that he's a high-end major league hitter at this point.
He has DH'd 85 games this year, and he's still carrying a WAR of 2.7.
Yeah.
You put him at a position, first base, we're looking at a 3-4 WAR player, easy. And if you give him a whole season, you might be looking at a 4 or 5 player, or maybe an all-star type player.
There are a number of teams too that are moving to a sort of a shared backstop position, and the other one plays first base. Like Ben Rice is doing it pretty well with the Yankees. There's a couple other that slip my mind right now, but that idea of you have a catcher who you have like a backup catcher who's a true backup catcher or a platoon catcher, and then you have another catcher who is also playing DH or first base at every other time. And I mean, I like that idea too. I do wonder what that, like, okay, what do we, is Crooks the guy? Is it Pages? Obviously Pozo probably doesn't factor in, but then we got Bernal, and then, you got a lot of guys that we want to put there. So does it make sense to continue to commit to Herrera as a part-time catcher or half-time catcher when you could just have him maybe be first base? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I do think to round it back to what Marmal and Bloom were talking about, like I think either way it probably makes sense to have him go into his off-season regimen as if he's going to be a catcher, because like I think it's way easier to build up as a catcher and then convert to left fielder, first baseman, DH than it is to do the inverse. So, that all that being said, there is also the Cardinals do have a legitimate opportunity to have a star level catcher, a catcher that can actually defend and actually hit.
Yeah.
Right now he's got a 139 WRC plus, 40% better than your average hitter.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he could be Will Smith or Cal Raleigh, but that's what those guys do.
Right.
And those guys are extremely valuable for their team. So,
I guess flip side of my argument, which is kind of what I've been saying earlier in the season, is that if you can play him at catcher, absolutely do, because then you could have, like, under the current team structure, that meant you could have Wilson Contreras at first base and Nolan Gorman or whoever. This was us all wish casting back in, March or whatever. But like, it's being able to have that catcher position that is also your cleanup hitter or whatever. Samuel Basayo over on the Orioles is who I was thinking, who swaps between catcher and first base too. Yep. Other even younger guy. But yeah, like that is true optimization. The Cardinals are just in that weird spot where all we do is create high-end prospect catchers. So there's just like, if there was no other guy that I was interested in seeing back there, then I think it would be an easy choice. You'd be like, all right, we'll take a mid defender Herrera over, but there's interesting other options too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I won't go on my whole rant about how I think the caught stealing might be slightly overrated, especially in today's game where, like, you see Juan Soto's going for 30 stolen bases.
And this is the slowest he's ever been. He's an inspiration, everyone. It's like Pujols back in his prime with smaller bases. If Pujols had or it's larger bases, smaller path, I think that if prime Pujols was in the environment that we have today, he also probably would have stolen 30 bags in a season.
He's doing 40-40 seasons, I bet.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a real inspiration. He has like a 25 seconds sprint speed or whatever, which is like, again, it's an all-time low for him, and he's not a fast guy, and he's about to steal 30 bags. He's just a better baseball player than everyone. It's
what. This was called out to me. I can't remember where, but Josh Naylor, not known for his speed, right? Slow ass, big first baseman. He's been with the Mariners for 51 games. He has 17 steals.
Yeah, some teams they just have figured out the go time.
I think anybody can get 30 steals. Is current form of baseball.
Yeah, my guess is that they have these guys that are doing it this way are either have a mixture of confidence in it and either the data to back it up, or they themselves are particularly good at understanding a pitcher's delivery and what is the exact moment to go when the pitcher's gone too far to pick them off. And then with the shorter bases, they can just, like, there is no catcher that can catch them, Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's interesting. Yeah. So anyways, I say all that to say that maybe stolen bases and caught stealing and all that is not super important.
Yeah. And framing, doesn't matter anymore.
Well, we'll talk about it, but framing actually, I think, is still going to be important with these new rules.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Let's talk a little bit about what's happening on the field right now. We already talked about Ivan, but to repeat, he's crushing it. Just absolutely demolishing the ball right now, giving us a little glimmer of hope of what a good Cardinal team will look like in the future. Yeah, here he's the 6th best WRC plus in September. So that's pretty good. We love to see it.
Isn't it so funny? Like, baseball is the most unpredictable sport. And while the Dodgers are going to the playoffs, that's very predictable. If you were to look at even a year ago or 2 years ago, I think we were feeling pretty good about Ivan Herrera at the end of last year, but I did not see this coming.
No.
How many times did we say, if the offense is going to offense, it's going to be Jordan Walker taking the next step, or Burley taking the next step, or Contreras going Super Saiyan. And here we are sitting, the 25-year-old like he was a prospect, but he wasn't one of the better hitters in the system or anything like that. Coming out and being your best player on the team, your best position player on the team. I don't know. Baseball is so funny. I love it.
He's also, this is fun. This little fun fact was going around recently. He is the most tenured member of the St. Louis Cardinals, which is interesting.
Is that true?
Yeah. Because he was signed when he was like 16 or whatever.
Okay.
Like,
of the organization.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Not like
that makes
on
more
the
sense.
Major League roster.
I was like, how is that? I mean, I know I have a bad memory, but how the hell is that?
It's Miles, right? It's got to be the most tenured on the MLB roster. But as far as
that makes
tenure in the organization, it's Ivan. And, to give credit where credit's due, fully homegrown player, right? Like, and he's doing it. So, yeah. Well, so let's talk about the other guy who's hitting pretty well right now and has hit pretty consistently all season, although certainly there's been ups and downs, is Alec Burleson is hitting again, which is good. Part of the reason why they're slightly winning a little bit again. He's playing well. I still don't know what you do with him.
I know. It seems like he is cemented for a position in the lineup next year. Where he'll be playing defensively, I guess probably left field. It seems,
I guess,
but I don't feel great about that.
I kind of am of the mind that if you're looking to trade someone where you can get value for value, he might be your best bet. If you're just trying to open up roster space, there are teams out there that would go, "Yay, we're getting Alec Burleson." You're not going to have a team that's going to go, "Yay, we're getting Jordan Walker. Yay, we're getting Nolan Gorman."
Yeah.
They're going to be going, "These are guys we can work with. These are guys like this is worth the risk," or whatever it may be. But Alec Burleson, the right team, they're like, this guy plugs right in, But as I've said all season, although it's gone up and down as things have gone up and down, he just doesn't fit on a rebuilding team. A platoon bat that can't. Well, platoon bat's maybe not fair to him at this point, but more essentially a platoon bat that can't play defense is not what a team that is searching for long-term answers needs. And he might give you a serviceable major league left field season, but we need every spot open to find our next guys,
And I'm not sure about the serviceable part of that.
He's at 2.1. No, we got to be fair to him here. He's 2.1 F4, which is right around league average of major league. So serviceable is not a glowing.
Okay. You're talking about the player's entire package.
Yes.
I'm talking about his defensive play in the outfield.
No, I don't think so. If he was even a average outfielder, he'd probably be like 3 or 4 WAR. I mean, he's hitting it. What's his 127 WRC plus on the season? Like he's hitting well. He's just standing out there in left field.
He is. We love his arm.
Sure.
That's good. And we're on 300 watch, Nate. He's hitting, as we're recording right now, he's hitting 294. We have the game tonight, 3 games against the Cubbies. If he can stay hot, he might break 300. And that is not happening.
No.
In baseball, almost at all.
He can hit. Like there's no more. This
Yes.
is 2 years in a row now that he has proven he is a above average major league hitter, and that is valuable. And that's why I say, like, for a rebuilding team, he might make the most sense to trade to clear up spots because everyone else is going to be a dump. And like, do we want to dump Lars Nootbaar? Do we want to dump Nolan Gorman? Do we want to dump Jordan Walker? Maybe. I mean, there's very reasonable arguments for all of that. But if you actually want to do like a trade where you might get something back, you know, Burleson is.
Who do you have more faith in for the next 2 years, Alec Burleson or Lars Nootbaar?
It depends on what you're defining by faith, which is such a. How do you define
Who
faith?
is going to be the better player over the next 2 seasons, Lars Nootbaar or Alec Burleson?
Every piece of data would tell you Alec Burleson is the better bet to be a productive major league player. Now, if you want to talk upside, I think we just saw like upside Burleson. I don't know that there's another level. We've talked about maybe there being another level, higher walk rate, things like that. We've been kind of getting it, but I think, good batting average and a little bit of pop is what we're seeing. We both know Lars Nootbaar he's a StatCast darling. He has that upside of 25 home runs, 30 home runs, 20 stolen bases with a 380 OBP or whatever, that's up there. If I was strictly gambling on upside, I guess it'd be Nootbaar. But how many years of arbitration does he even have left? Or how many years of control does he have left too? Like, are we going to...
Lars Nootbaar he's at 3 years of service time right now.
So another 3 years. I guess if he like popped next year, you'd be like, all right, we got him for 2 more years. That'd feel good. I mean, I will say, generally speaking, too, as far as team building goes, my philosophy is chase upside, Sure. So if I'm a rebuilding team, I would rather have a Lars Nootbaar than an Alec Burleson. But on the trade market, if I'm trying to not just dump someone and get value back, Burleson is the choice to trade.
Yeah. And I think this would have been an easier choice for me every year up until this year where Newt has just had... He's getting close to 600 plate appearances, and he is about to accrue 1 F4.
It just hasn't worked this year.
It's been weirdly bad, and by far the worst year of his career.
And he's not getting younger. Who is? So I don't know. I think like all these guys might be gone next year. I don't know. We don't know yet what's on their minds as far as this goes. We'll see. I don't even really know what kind of Pobo or whatever Heimblum is. Is he going to be transparent and tell us what he's thinking, or is it going to be Mozeliak style where he says on Monday Matt Carpenter is my starting third baseman, on Tuesday he's traded? We don't know yet. But I think there's a good chance a lot of these guys are gone, and it's not going to be, which one are you keeping? It's like full rebuild type stuff.
Yeah. That will be partly a bummer.
Yeah.
But it will give us quite a lot to talk about. And
it's not worked for 3 years now, right? Like, there's a few things that have worked, Brendan Donovan, things like that. But like these guys that are supposed to be the guys,
José Fermín, he's sticking around.
Well, I know you want to talk about Fermín, so
that's a pillar.
Go off. Yeah. What do you want to? Let's go right into it. What do you want to say?
I have it written here, Nate. For José Fermín, more like the machine 2.0.
He did it.
Nate, This guy's got a 148 WRC plus. He's accrued almost an entire WAR in 26 games. It's only 63 plate
He's about
appearances.
to pass Nolan Arenado on the season.
He's about to pass Nolan Arenado.
I was looking at it earlier.
He has
today.
a 403 OBP.
Yeah.
He's not hitting the ball particularly hard, but I am telling you, the numbers are there, and the eye test is just making me lose my mind. He is taking tough at-bats every single time. It's not.
Would you say he's out there
right.
grinding?
He's grinding, Nate.
Hell yeah.
This is the kind of player that I would really like to see more of in 2026. Where he plays, I don't know. We've talked about this before. We know he's not a great defender. But if you're cleaning house, I think that you should probably make room for somebody who has done nothing but hit well above major league average for, albeit a good chunk of that's in the minors. For are we at 3 years now?
Yeah.
For 3 years. In the last 2 years, his WRC plus has not been below 144 across 2 levels. I think we're seeing it. I think he's the bat is real. I don't know if he can carry a 140 WRC plus for his career, but I think that he is a tough at bat. I think he's a high average hitter. I think he walks. And he's versatile enough to play average defense all over the infield. And that's a ball player, Nate. I'm telling you, wheels up, baby.
Wheels up. That's the slogan for 2026. Wheels up. I I mean, I'm pounding the table. I'm standing. I'm hooting and hollering. I put myself on mute while Ben was just sitting there ranting. I'm just swinging around the room. I'm so on board with this. I mean, in a season where we have just been chasing bad outcomes left and right, like let him cook.
Let him cook.
Let him cook. Wheels up.
He was playing. He came in for Donnie. Donnie, who got pulled out of the game after his 4 doubles on Tuesday night's game. Fermín comes in and immediately makes a sparkling play at second.
Yeah.
Maybe he's gotten better defensively. I don't know. It's funny because I truly, I know it's slightly a bit, but I really do believe he needs a longer runway.
It is slightly a bit, but he does keep doing it.
He does keep
doing it. So I don't mean to just keep punting things to, it'll be interesting to see, but it is like he's doing everything he can to keep his name in the conversation for 2026. And when everything is wide open, we saw some reporting that the team is considering like a longer rebuild, like a full, maybe not a full rebuild in the way that we've seen around the league, but like actually making a multi-year plan and not just hoping every year that maybe this will be the year. And so when you do that, that means everything is wide open, maybe even, I don't mean this in what I want, but when you go that route, you're like, even Masyn Winn is a tradable asset if you're truly going into like full rebuild type stuff, So if everything is wide open, then why not go into 26 with Fermín as a starter, and then you can pull the ripcord in May if the bottom drops out and it turns out it was all a fluke. But like, it's kind of what I was saying before with like Michael McGreevy, who obviously is young, ups and downs and whatnot, but like he's kind of only ever performed at every level we've seen him, and then he came into the major leagues and was performing. So like, why stop it? Why get in the way?
Yeah, if the Cardinals decide to cut that deep in a rebuild, I do think that would be foolish. That being said, it'd be extremely interesting.
Yeah, it would be. I don't think it's necessary.
But we'd be set up for like 2 or 3 years of really, really bad baseball, which would hurt.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be clear. The Cardinals are, for all their faults, they are still in it here at the end of the season.
Mo is loving it. He's like, this is why I get up in the morning.
I told you we would have a chance. Ultimately, net, it's a pretty good year.
We're here. You're talking about him.
Hey, everybody. Get out of here, Mo. You got a retirement party to go to.
Wait, that was also Mo? That second
that was him doing an impression of my impression of him. And here comes Kermit.
Should I just hit my mute?
You want to just? I'm gonna do this for a little while.
Okay.
I don't think they need to. For how bad this team has been in many different levels, there's still a lot of good in the core. But I don't know. You could see Chaim Bloom and them looking like we don't see sustained success around the corner. So and a lot of these guys are like, okay, Nootbaar finally starts hitting. You only got 2 years left of him. Okay. Brendan Donovan is hitting. We only got a handful of years, like by time this core actually comes around and is good, you might be running out of time. So, which is another complicated problem, but again, I don't think they're going to do that, but a 2-year rebuild, a 2027 compete, hope for a 2027 compete, or even a 2028 is absolutely in the cards. There's certainly no way, short of a huge spend this offseason, that the Cardinals can plan to compete in 2026. So then at that point, you really got to think, what is the right long-term move?
Yeah.
But JJ's coming, Liam's coming.
Well, I was just going to say, graduating a top prospect successfully is going to go a really long way. Like, I'm thinking back to Alex Reyes, Dylan Carlson, Nolan Gorman, Jordan Walker. We just haven't, we talk about it's not linear.
Yeah.
These guys develop in their own time. Masyn Winn is a good counter example to all that. But we've had a lot of top prospects not really translate. And I think JJ and Quinn and Liam Doyle graduating successfully is going to go a really long way for this rebuild and how long it's going to actually end up taking.
Yeah. All right, we got to move on. Let's touch on Sonny Gray real quick. You want to ask the question, do we think we just saw Sonny Gray's last start? My answer is yes, I think so. I don't know what's in his head. He spoke very fondly about spending his time with the St. Louis Cardinals. He wanted to be here to be a mentor to the team, and I do believe that. I also believe that he is a veteran who's just like, I'll just give me the ball. I'll just throw the ball. Like I signed here. Let me just be here, But he has 1 year left, and that is a very different equation than like going into this year. And for half of the season, the Cardinals really thought they were going to be competitive, and you had some reason to believe that might be the case. Or if you didn't think 25, you certainly thought 26. We were saying that a lot. 25 is a platform year to 26. Now we know 26 is not the year, or very unlikely to be the year. So what is Sonny Gray pitching for? Almost all of his arguments, other than being the guy to be there for the younger guys, which maybe that is still truly how he feels, and he likes pitching in St. Louis enough that he'll decide to stay here. But I would be very surprised if he wouldn't waive his no trade for a good team, and he would return a good return from a competitive team. So I'm frankly hopeful that the Cardinals do trade him this offseason.
Yeah. I think Sonny Gray is still a top 20 pitcher. He's from a FWAR standpoint, he's right next to Brian Wu, Freddie Peralta. He's outpaced Jacob deGrom this season. He is still a very good pitcher. He could be the ace or the number 2 for a lot of teams. I think a lot of teams are going to go after him, and I think he'll have his pick of the litter, which might make the whole thing a lot easier.
Yeah.
I think somebody brought up the Giants and the Bird scored. I think that makes a lot of sense. The Astros could trade for this guy. There's just a lot of teams that aren't the Yankees, because I don't think that will ever happen again, that could use a Sonny Gray. And I think it should be stated, like, he is still really, really, really good. He has a 3 FIP this year. He's striking out everybody still. Everything about him, it just screams a ton of value. So, yeah, I think it'll happen. It sucks that we essentially wasted 2 years of really good Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, that's almost more of an existential question. Like, was it a waste? I mean, it was fun to get to watch him, and
that was good for me. I'm saying for him.
For him, yeah. But he also made the choice to be here this year. They would have traded him somewhere.
I think Mozeliak tricked him.
Like, handed him like a fake World Series trophy. He's like, how does that feel?
Yeah. Got one coming for you, Pops.
All right. We got to move into the next section. It's Tab After Dark, Hambo. We can't go too long, though. You know what I mean?
Terry, no further, my friend.
All right. So we're going to talk about the last series coming up and some league news. But before we do, we want to remind everyone that this show is listener supported on Patreon.com. Patreon.com/talkingaboutbirds, where you can get access to all of our various features. The lowest tier is just $2 a month, and that gives you access to the Bird Score. That's our private Discord server. We are hanging out in there. There's still a lot of good talk, a lot of chatter, a lot of news. We expect this offseason to be news filled. It's a great place to get like immediate action and reaction to the news. Go in there and talk to other actual Cardinal fans who will actually respond to you, and you're not just shouting into the void that is most social media. Ben and I are in there. C70's in there correcting us. It's great. We love it. We will have our fantasy baseball season next year. We are in the championship round right now. Hambone, you and I did not make it to the championship. I won the first year, but I have not been able to retain my crown.
Loser.
Yeah, I know. I'm a loser. But the championship, good luck to Sloppy Taco and One Man Wolfpack. We're rooting for both of you.
I'm not.
It was pitched in the Bird Score that whoever wins can come on the show and do the game with us. I love the idea. I don't know if either of them actually want that. So we'll see. We'll see if whoever wins. Right now,
that sounds
Sloppy
fun.
Taco's got a pretty commanding lead, but there's still 4 days left. So we'll see. And if you want to participate next year, hop in the Bird Scored. We also appreciate everyone who takes a moment to leave us a review on their favorite podcast platform. And of course, tell your friends, tell your family. Hambone, where else can people find us online?
Yeah, we're on all the socials. We're on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok. You can listen to this show on Spotify if you prefer that, if you're that kind of freak. You can watch this show on YouTube.com.
Wow.
Look at our faces. Look at Nate and I screaming at each other for an hour. You can find all of the podcast information at talkingaboutbirds.com. T-shirts, podcasts, yada, yada, yada. Everything is there. You can email us at talkaboutbirds@gmail.com. And of course, you can call us and leave a voicemail or send us a text message to 848-48-BIRDS. That's 848-482-4737.
848-48-BIRDS. All right, Hambone. We got the last game tonight against the Giants. Maybe a sweep. And then the Cardinals go to Chicago, north side of Chicago, for the last game of the last series of the season. Wouldn't it be fun if this was like an actually important series?
It'd be a blast. I might be in Chicago right now, Nate. Who knows? Anything could be possible if we lived in that universe.
Wow. Maybe I could fly.
Yeah, I bet you that universe is a lot better than this universe.
Yeah, low bar.
So it looks like pitching matchups, the Cardinals are going to draw. It'll be Colin Ray and Miles Michaelis making his final start as a St. Louis Cardinal. Then it'll be Javier Assad and Matthew Liberatore and Jamison Taillon versus Michael McGreevy.
Do you think the Cubs do any sort of Miles Michaelis retirement, last game as a Cardinal, treatment for him? They're going to bring him out a bunch of bats that they hit home runs off of him with, things like that.
I would truly not be surprised if they show some type of super cut of every home run that was over 450 feet hit by a Cub.
Thanks, Miles. Thanks for a good time. Yeah.
That would not surprise me in the slightest if they were to do something like that, because they are those types of people.
Yeah, they should. I kind of hope that they do. Just
it would be funny. I would. Yeah.
I don't know what to say about the Cubs at this point. It's the last season or series of the season. They're rolling into the playoffs for the first time since 2020, which actually was a little surprising to me when I heard that. I guess obviously the Brewers have done well and the Cardinals won it. The other years they haven't, but for some reason I thought they'd made the playoffs more recently than 2020.
No, post World Series they kind of just they
haven't done much. Yeah. I don't think they have much of a chance in the playoffs, but you never know. It's a random championship generator. But we wish them the worst of luck. That I will say.
Yeah. Obviously, I only want bad things to happen to them. Who do we talk about right now? I guess nobody on their team is scorching hot right now. Pete Crow Armstrong is actually pretty cold.
He had 27 home runs in the first half and has hit 2 in the second half.
I am not trying to be I told you so, but I feel like I was banging that drum pretty hard. Pete Crow Armstrong is about to fall off.
Did you see why Matt Shaw just missed? I
wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about this or not, but I'll echo. If you didn't see this, I don't need to totally weigh in. I'm sure that most people understand Nate and I's politics on this, but Matt Shaw decided to miss the Sunday game, which the Cubs ended up losing, I believe. And they did not announce he was absent until after the game, which I thought was interesting. But he went to Charlie Kirk's memorial service to view the pyrotechnics and swing by the gift shop and everything like that. Now, what Gary Cohen said on the Mets broadcast is pretty much how I feel. The fact that you're in a playoff race and you're leaving for something that isn't an immediate family member having a serious issue, I think Gary Cohen called it weird. And I'll just say that.
Yeah, I thought it was
very
weird too. I truly think that this is something we can all agree on both sides. Like him leaving to go to that was weird and not what you would think would be the right priority in that moment.
I would say, I think the kids say this, Nate. They touch grass, young man.
Yes.
Go out, get off your phone, go outside.
Yeah.
I know he works outside, but you know what I'm saying. Like get offline a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But weird move, and the fact that they lost the game, and the fact there was a situation in which he could have been used as a pinch hitter because he is quite fast, and he was not able to be utilized. Just weird.
Yeah.
Weird. I've never heard
that either. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, bizarre.
Mm-hmm. So good luck, Cubs. We're not rooting for you. And I hope that the Cardinals end strong. You know, I hope that we have a good series against them. You never know in Chicago. And
I mean, win out just for the lulz. Like, let's see what you can do, boys.
Well, they would end over 500, right? If they win out.
Yeah.
I don't really care about that, but like, I don't know. I guess to do it against the Cubs at the end of the season would make me feel good.
Oh, it would be a sweet, sweet joy. Yeah, I'd love to see that. And the pitching matchups are, they're kind of in the Cardinals' favor to make that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, except for the Miles Michaelis of it all. But
we're not.
But hold on, to be fair,
he's going to be so fired up from that video that they show him that he's going to pitch well, and he's been pitching well. I know that's what you're going to say. I knew you were going to say he's pitching well.
He's been fine. All
right,
he's earning.
I know we're trying.
He's earning that extension.
I know you have to go, but I do have to ask you: does Miles Michaelis get signed by any major league team going into spring training next year?
Going into spring, no. There were better pitchers that struggled to get contracts this year. That is not the profile. That type of pitcher these days just does not get a contract. I maybe, Kyle Gibson struggled to get a contract, and he had come off of several years in a row of doing what Miles Michaelis does, but better and more consistently.
Rocky, the Athletics, and the Angels, all three of those teams would have killed for a Miles Michaelis performance this year.
I mean, does he get a contract is such a wide open, like a major league contract. I still think not going into this season would be my guess, but it could happen, obviously.
I think he will pitch for a major league team next year.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Okay. I would not put money on either side of this, but if I had to pick a side, I bet he struggles to get a contract.
I hope Chaim Bloom steps up, puts his big boy pants on and just gives him another year.
You got to give him another year. We got to see what he can do. we got to see. There's still a little upside in there. All right, Hambone, let's do some league news.
Nate, we got to talk about ABS.
Of course, we got to talk about ABS. The announcement
came down. If you missed this, get out from under your rock. Am I right?
Get back online.
Get off that grass. Under the incoming ABS system, any pitcher, catcher, or hitter will be able to tap his helmet or cap to signify his desire to challenge the ball or strike call from the home plate umpire. Teams are afforded 2 challenges per game, but are only docked a challenge if it is unsuccessful. So ostensibly, you could just keep on challenging until you get it wrong. This is, I think, I knew that this was coming.
Right.
It's been widely reported. It's been used at AAA. I think this is the way that I wanted to come because I think this keeps the sanctity of the catching position still relevant. This makes Ivan Herrera, whether or not he can be a catcher, that makes it a whole storyline. Can he actually do this back there? And I think that it will keep the calls in the big spots from getting incorrect, much like our current challenge system.
Yeah.
For the other plays. I think when the game is on the line or when it really matters, getting the call right will happen far more often.
Because he could have burned your challenges earlier in the game. But I imagine teams will have some degree of this will probably take a while to develop the strategy around when you do and when you don't. But I would imagine there'll be some degree of guidance around like, hey, if it's the first 5 innings, like unless you are absolutely sure, don't challenge it.
I think we're going to be talking about win probability added in the dugout. What is the highest inflection point in that game? And I think that people are going to be aware of that. And, if it's in the second inning and the bases are loaded and, it's a scoring opportunity, I think you're going to see teams optimize it, and they're going to understand in real time when the most win probability is on the line and leverage it there if it's necessary, if somebody's missing a call.
Yeah. That
I
would
also
be the
think
smart way to do it. So some teams will be doing
I also
it,
think
and the Angels will be like, wait, there's a challenge system, halfway through the season.
Yeah. I also think that what will be really exciting is there's going to be some like obvious calls, like every year you watch, and there will be a strike down the middle that gets missed because the umpire is, I don't know, his or her brain is just shorting out.
Yeah.
So getting those ones straightened out, because they're just so frustrating from I'm sure a player standpoint, but a viewer standpoint, that will also be very nice.
Yeah, I like, obviously beep boop go robots. I've been saying it for a while. But I think this is good. I think it'll be interesting. I do think a challenge system has some flaws, but it does keep it in the player's hands, which I think is what people want. They still have to make a decision. They have to make a call. It's pretty quick, and it'll be interesting. We saw it a little bit last year, and the little bit we saw of this system where like pitchers getting tricked by their own catcher's framing and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be a skill in its own right. We will find like there will be pitchers who have 100% challenge rate success, and there'll be pitchers who have like 2% challenge rate success. I don't know if it'll go that far that we're measuring it to that degree, but probably we will. And there will probably be guys that are really good at it and guys that are really bad at it. On both sides. Like what would this have looked like if Matt Carpenter was able to?
Well, I was just gonna say, like, if anyone looks like they've been wronged when a call doesn't go their way, watching Juan Soto getting his calls correct, which I do expect him to have the highest success rate from a batter, that alone is going to be good TV to watch.
Yeah. So I think it's good. I think this is like, there will be times where, just like the replay system, where like, that's obviously a strike. They challenge it and it's still called a ball or whatever it may be. There'll be some things that are frustrating about this system, because it'll always be frustrating until it's completely automated. But I think this will preserve some of the stuff that I think is fun about baseball, and it'll give more things for people to be mad and yell at a sport. And that's what we're all here for, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Just to be mad at things.
Okay. So let's look at the playoff picture really quick, Nate, because I mean, that's the only thing really going on in baseball right now. But the postseason picture, again, we were recording on Wednesday night. So it looks like we are going to have the Mets and the Dodgers face off. The winner of that series will go against the Phillies. The Padres and the Cubbies are in line to fight. The winner of that will go against your Milwaukee Brewers. The Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, the winner of that will be going against the Blue Jays, which is wild. I can't believe I just said that. And then the Tigers and the Guardians are going to be fighting. The winner of that will be going against the Mariners. Any hot takes? Do you have a World Series prediction? Are you rooting for anybody? I was trying to get C70 to answer me on this, and he just seemed to not give a shit. But I want to hear what Nate is thinking.
Yeah. So, I mean, also, some of this is technically still up in the air. AL could change in a lot of different ways.
I'm trying to timestamp this as much. This is at 7:49 Mountain Standard Time, Wednesday night.
Yeah, so the AL could change in multiple ways, and the NL, it's really only one spot that is open. So answer your question. My preseason prediction, Hambone, when we did our little game, was Tigers versus Dodgers in the World Series. So it's fun that at least going into the tournament, my prediction is possible. And in many ways, I kind of just want to keep that. It's what I said going in. I don't know that if I were redrawing it right now, I would say that. It's honestly a little hard to pick the Dodgers right now with how everything's gone. However, it's a short series. Just have Ohtani pitch every game and have him lead off every game, and they could run through the whole thing. But I still want to go. I'll stick with my preseason prediction of the Tigers. Although I will say my personal rooting stance at this point is the Mariners. I would love to see the Mariners go deep and win the whole thing. I think that would be really fun. And I think they are equipped to do it. They are legitimately good, and they're built like a playoff team. Hit home runs and pitch really well. That's the teams. If the home runs come at the right time, they got the pitching, they could win the whole thing. Which is exactly how the Phillies are built. Which is the other team that I think is like a favorite out of all of this. So I'm going to say Tigers. But I won't be surprised if it's Mariners Phillies, and that would be fun too.
Yeah. My preseason prediction was the Padres in the World Series against the Rangers. The Rangers got bounced out. I think it was yesterday or the day before out of the playoffs. So that is obviously not going to happen. I still can't believe they had the year that they had with DeGrom being healthy and Eovaldi being one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Like almost everything went right for them except for everything offensively. Like a lot of the question marks going in.
Did not see that coming.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So I think everything you said about the Mariners, I agree with a lot. I can just at 100% see Julio Rodriguez going off and having a signature series or a few signature moments. I do think he is just next level. He's one of the most talented players in baseball.
For sure. He's doing
so
what
him
he does,
having a big moment.
He's every year now. He's one of those guys. He's a second half like elite. He's a pretty good first half. Most guys would take it, but for him it's fine. Second half, he just goes off. He has like an over 1 OPS over the last 60 games or whatever. And then you got the big dumper. You've got Suarez. Even like Polanco's up and down, but he can hit a dinger. These games are going to be out. They're going to have games on the road where they are crushing everybody. So they're a good team. I'm hopeful that they'll keep it together and make it deep.
I'm going to be different though. I'm going to my new prediction. So I'm going to go Padres. I'm still rooting for them against the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have been on an absolute tear in the second half. They have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who is hitting extremely well for power and for average, and he's walking.
George Springer. I don't know if he was ever bad
maybe
enough.
The best year of his career.
I don't think he sank low enough to get comeback player of the year type award, but like a 35-year-old, over 900 OPS. Like he's having an incredible season.
This is the highest OPS plus of his entire career by 10 points.
Yeah.
And he did that when he was 29. He is 35 right now.
Yeah.
So I think that I like their pitching enough that I think that they could do it. And I just really like that they are at the top of the East. And it's, the Yankees kind of limped in. Boston definitely limped in. And nobody's talking about the Blue Jays. So I think that would be a lot of fun. I do think that they could do it because they have superstars. Like Bo Bichette had a ridiculously good offensive year.
He's hurt though, is he not? Will he be back for the playoffs?
I am pretty sure he is back now, but I've been wrong before.
Yeah, and you loved it like quote unquote small market team. They got their guy. They signed Vlad to the massive extension. And now they're winning the East, and every baseball united rejoices when Yankees are bust and don't win the AL East. So we're all Blue Jays fans right now.
Bo Bichette is not back from a sprained knee, so he's not back yet. So I guess we'll keep watching that. But they got Ernie Clement, so who needs Bo Bichette?
Also, our favorite shaped type of shaped baseball player, Alejandro Kirk over there doing his thing. So,
and a bird, Nate.
and a bird.
It's the only bird in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I have to root for them.
Yep.
But yeah, I went birds, dads, and I'm going to go with dads. I think dads are a team of destiny this year. I can feel it.
Your point about them being a bird team is the best point you've made in the last 2 months of the podcast. So I'm all in on the Blue Jays as well. Now I say
it's interesting that's how you would feel about this.
The podcast has selected the Toronto Blue Jays as our team for this.
To be clear, not me or you.
The podcast. Like,
yes,
yeah.
Okay.
And if you're
I get it.
And if you're a real listener of the show and a true fan, then you've also just selected the Toronto Blue Jays as your team.
Wow.
We got to talk about
That's
birds.
odd.
I enjoy talking about birds. Buy the t-shirt.
Cool. Luis Arias has been really hot.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? Have you been paying attention to that? All right. Cool. So yeah, let's go dads and birds, I guess. One last thing I want to talk about was the Guardians' David Fry suffered multiple facial fractures after being hit in the face whilst squaring up for a bunt against Tarek Skubal.
You said squaring up for a blunt, and I have to make sure that we settle on that for a second. It's had to have happened to someone at some point, squaring up for a blunt, and it results in multiple facial fractures.
Oh, 100% of the time. And then some of that time, you get hit in the face by a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Just, somebody screwing around on the other side.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
not good.
Yeah.
All of that's pretty bad, TBH.
Well, hopefully he, TBH, hopefully he recovers okay. And that's rough. That's yeah.
Okay, that's all I got. His last name's Fry. That's good.
Yeah. He's also a patron saint of the podcast. We love fries on this show, don't we, folks? All right. We're going to wrap up this episode. We're going to take a look at some end of season stats. I'm going to have you guess who led the team in a couple of stats and another edition of Who Charted. So obviously there's a handful of games left, but I don't think any of these will change fundamentally. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. You give me your best guess on who it is. Okay.
I can do that.
So who played the most games for the St. Louis Cardinals in 2025?
Who played the most games? Wow. No, it can't be Masyn. Masyn would have been, but he died.
Rip.
I kind of want to say Burley, because I don't think he had any injuries this year, did he? No, he's been there all year, right? Nato's gone down, Donnie's gone down, Mason's gone down, Wilson's gone down, Victor Scott has gone down, Walker's gone down, Newt has been there. Ooh, okay, it's Newt or Burley. Shoot. I guess I want to say Lars Nootbaar.
You talked yourself out of it, Hambone. It was Burleson, or it is Burleson. Let me see, where's Newt though. It's very close. It's very close.
Yeah.
Technically, they could tie if Alec Burleson's at 136.
Oh, okay. Well, are we doing plate appearances or
just
games?
Games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who has the most plate appearances?
That is Lars. Yeah. So
some people are saying I got that right.
The question was who played the most games. If it was plate appearances, I would have said who had the most plate appearances. Most people are saying you got that wrong.
I think one is more kind of telling of who's played. Okay.
Interestingly, though, Hambone, as far as games played, Alec Burleson just passed Wilson Contreras, who was leading the team.
Really?
Yeah. Lars Nootbaar has 132. So Alec has played 4 more games, but obviously Nootbaar hits at the top of the lineup, so he ends up with more plate appearances.
Yeah. I get all
That's
that.
how baseball go.
Move on.
Okay. Who had the highest WOBA minimum 300 plate appearances?
Highest WOBA, not ex-WOBA.
Not ex-WOBA.
300 plate appearances?
Minimum 300.
It's got to be Ivan Herrera, right? What
Yep,
are we doing?
Yep. Some of these are easier than others. Ivan Herrera, a 380 WOBA.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
he good. He good.
Pay that man.
All right. Who had the highest walk rate as a hitter? Highest walk rate, minimum 300 plate appearances.
Highest walk rate. Highest walk rate. The rate of walks was the highest by this person. Yep. I think
Good.
Ivan Herrera was above 10.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Newbar was probably around that same thing, same area. Donnie, I feel like his was not as high this year. Who else on the team walks? I mean, Gorman was walking for a bit, and I could see you tricking me, but there's no way he was walking the most on the team. Who am I not thinking about?
This is my poker face.
Mop.
That song rips, by the way.
Yeah. Lady Gaga makes good music. Can't believe we're saying
Hot take.
I kind of want to say Ivan Herrera again.
Ivan Herrera has a 9.6 walk rate. Good in its own right. I thought it was above 10. Good in its own right, and definitely top 3. He's third with the minimum 300 plate appearances. But it is Nolan Gorman who has a 12.1% walk rate on the season.
I said his name, but I was like, "There's no way."
This was one of the ones I was like, "I this is crazy to me." But yeah, 12.1 walk percent. So It's only 25.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Okay. It was who was it? It's Lars was right. Was number 2.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. After that, I only have a few of these. Who had the lowest XFIP, expected fielding independent pitching, minimum 50 innings pitched? So,
damn, that is such an annoying number of innings.
Well, yeah. So, it's most of the relievers and obviously all the starters.
Yeah. Geez. I don't know. If that number was a little higher or a little lower, I would feel pretty confident, but I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Jojo Romero.
No Hambone. Despite it only being 50 innings pitched, Sonny Gray has the lowest XFIP.
Yeah. I thought one of the relievers would get below him, but I knew Sonny Gray. I was just looking at the numbers. They were really good.
If I lowered it to like 30, where we got some small sample size guys and things like that, some of the relievers who were traded and whatnot, like there's other guys, but
sure.
But yeah, I mean, again, Sonny Gray also one of the tops in innings pitched. This guy has insane value. Was really good this year. Just don't look at ERA. Yeah. That's not always his control. Everything he can control, he was pretty incredible.
He's a very good player.
Okay, as a pitcher, lowest walk rate, minimum 50 innings pitched.
Damn it. Lowest walk rate. I don't know why, but I really want to say Liberatore because he was just not walking anybody for the longest time. Did that change so dramatically that shifted off that? Maybe it did. But I don't have a better answer, so I'm going to say Matthew Liberatore.
Hambone, it was Steven Matz.
I remember Steven Matz.
4% walk rate.
Wow. Man, he has not been that good for Boston.
None of them have. Someone I think texted into us or emailed and saying after the season ends, we should do a wrap up on what happened to everybody after they left us, and it's just going to be bad for everyone. Liberatore 6.2%, top 5 using the minimum 50 innings pitched.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. We'll take that.
Last one for you, Hambone. Highest strikeout percentage as a pitcher, minimum 50 innings.
A strikeout percentage as a pitcher, minimum 50 innings. 50 innings. Again, you son of a bitch. Jeez. Sonny Gray?
No, it is Matt Swanson.
Does he have 50 innings?
58.
No way. For the big league club?
Yeah.
Really?
2025 St. Louis Cardinals, 50 innings. I mean, he pitched a lot of bulk relief too. You know, he was doing 2-3 innings at a time.
Wow. And really? Okay. Wow.
He's good.
All right. I am shocked that he has accrued that many innings in this short amount of time.
Yeah. He's put up 0.9 FWAR on the season and
37 games and 58 innings. I would not have guessed that in 1,000 years.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have got
2.85 XFIP or just FIP, XFIP 3.53. So a little higher, actually. Looks like he got lucky in some results. But you almost always are getting a little lucky when you put up a 2 ERA. Matt Swanson is good.
He is. He's good and he's big, and I like that.
Yeah, good and big. That's
big and good.
That's Ben's self-affirmation when he looks in the mirror every morning. Big, good, big, good. Okay. That's going to do it for this week's episode of Talking About Birds. Hambone, it's good to be back. We'll be back next week with another episode as we wrap up 2025. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Whether you're new or been here all year or even for years, we appreciate you. Off-season will hopefully be interesting. We'll be here every week, no matter what. So tell your friends, tell your family. TalkingAboutBirds.com, Patreon.com/TalkingAboutBirds. Check them all out. And for one last weekend of the 2025 baseball season, I say, go Cardinals.
Birds, let's go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the. Wow, I haven't done it. I missed a week. All right.
You know what? Last week was the first time I did it where I didn't have to think about it. I just did it, and I felt like I'd become a man or something.
Yeah. All right. Take 2.